Hello everyone, today we are taking a look at the T-Motor FT800. This is a 800 milliwatt VTX. It's 20 by 20 and it uses an MMCX connector on here. And we're just going to do some quick measurements for your mounting purposes. Take it for a spin. I look not at range because range is something that can draw unintended or unwanted attention because you don't have a spotter over all that entire range. You don't got to obey all the rules. We're going to go for obstruction testing. So if you have a micro and it's got 20 by 20 mounting and you're looking to improve your analog video reception performance, maybe this 800 milliwatt VTX is what you're looking for. The FT800 weighs just above 7.5 grams. It is 6.62 millimeters thick, just a touch over 29 millimeters wide in both directions. Got buttons over here to manipulate your power and your VTX signal frequency. Pre-mentioned MMCX. Got a connector that you can use instead of having to soldering. But if you prefer solder, got those pads in the bottom here. All right, we're gonna take off, not from my usual spot, but as I said, we're going to circle the house, and then we're going to circle my neighbor's house, and then we're going to circle my neighbor's house as our, not range testing. If you want to look at range testing, we need to hit up Wesley Vardy's channel. He seems to be in a location we're doing extreme range testing on something like a wing, which I think he does use wings for his range testing, and he does a great job. He does wonderful video editing. He's very easy to listen to, so I'm not sure if he has one of these, but if you're really interested in VTX range testing, that is the place for you to be. I can't recommend another channel because I think Wesley is getting all the views because he does such a great job in the testing. So we've circled the house one way and we're going to circle the house the other way, and then we're going to go over to my neighbor's place, and then we're going to go around my neighbor's place. Of course, this was one of those videos I was trying to get done before I went on vacation, and it's taken me a little longer to get to it than I'd originally planned. So this flight actually was before all the leaves have fallen, which you may have seen my Mobilite 7 HD0 video, and you saw all the leaves in the backyard because, yeah, that was a much more current video, whereas this one was filmed getting close to 3 weeks ago now, I believe. So we our weather hadn't changed so much by then. By the way, in order to get around my neighbor's house, I have to use usually 350 milliwatts or more in order to be able to navigate it. It gets kind of sketchy, but just to be able to navigate it, I've got to have at least a 350 milliwatt VTX on analog. Of course, if you're looking at digital, and this video probably isn't one that's going to interest you too much if you're a digital flyer. This will be for our analog flyers out there. This does retail off the T-Motor website for $38.90, which oddly enough, they don't have even the 90 cents placeholder on their website. It just says 38.9. I presume that's $38.90, but we could find other prices at other shops, maybe shops even near you, which is important because I am hearing more and more and more that shipping costs are starting to really have a gross impact. Now, as I fly around my neighbor's house, and yes, everyone's aware we have a text chain, I make sure everybody is responded and let me know, yeah, we're all clear, we'll be looking for you. They're oftentimes looking out their windows as I do these sorts of things, because then I'll get text messages when I'm done, say 15, 20 minutes later. And they'll say, we saw you whiz by. They think it's neat and interesting. Got very kind neighbors. I really appreciate them. But usually getting around my neighbor's house, excuse me, that second house, that does require an 800 milliwatt VTX, unless I'm on digital. If I'm running DJI, or now what we might call walk snail, which is very, very similar, but I haven't done that same sort of testing with walk snail just yet. But I presume because of the technologies and everything that it's very, very similar, that I can get pretty clear around their places without too much signal loss. But for 800 milliwatts, this one is doing pretty good. I think it's completely acceptable, but there are probably some factors that you might want to know about this VTX that this video does not contain. I apologize. Doing range testing is not only not something that I'm very comfortable with, it's just not something that I'm all that interested in. I'm a micro guy. You're probably looking at a larger quad flyer that might interest you a little bit more. Here's where I just kind of was showing you where I was sitting and then pointing in the direction of the houses. And I think I also had a bug on my leg that I was kind of just trying to get rid of there as well. Something that I didn't get into during the fly around all the houses is this can accept voltage input from 7 volts all the way up to 36 volts. So you might want to run this off of VBAT depending upon what you're doing. In my particular case, I was running it off of VBAT 4S quad, and I should mention the quad that I was flying. It was the 03 from Avant Quads, and I like Avant Quads. They have yet to turn out a quad that I didn't like. I have not reviewed any of their 5-inchers though, so that's something to keep in mind. Also, I had a question about them possibly no longer being in business because their PayPal has been down. I did get a message from Avant Quads letting me know that they're having PayPal troubles. I don't know if it got hijacked or something. They didn't give me details, and it's really not mine to ask, that sort of thing. They did say they were going to try to get that corrected, but I think it's taking longer than they thought it would. I'm not sure if it's a Chinese business verification sort of thing, but check out Avant Quads if you like micros and 3-inchers. Always very solid, well built. Many people have bought them. I've got a lot of good reports. I think the one thing that I have heard about Avant Quads is that every once in a while they'll have a quad where the arm might just be a touch too thin and it might break. I think UAV Tech had an Avant Quads that broke an arm on a crash. So that was a little bit disappointing, but overall, very solid products. You might be wondering about the true power output. Unfortunately, the RF meter that I ordered didn't arrive, or it got shipped somewhere else. It showed delivery on my tracking, so I'm gonna have to order another one. I did send an email off to support. I was hoping to be able to measure this for you and show it to you on the measurement on the RF meter as close as they are. Unfortunately, I still don't have one of those yet, even though I've tried to purchase one. Hopefully I'm able to remedy that, and in future vTx videos I'll be able to show you that RF meter and the power output then. If you have any comments, questions, suggestions, or otherwise, please let me know in the comments section below. I appreciate your time. Thanks for watching.